Will GeForce Now allow you to play all your games soon? Now, this is a feature that people have been wanting from the platform for a long time now. Now, there's been a post on Reddit leading to a Steam forum post with a developer talking about the possibility of this coming to GeForce Now this year. Let's talk about it. There is a massive rumor that just got on Reddit, or just was posted on Reddit, regarding, let's say, the future of GeForce Now. This is a feature that that people have wanted, that we've wanted, that other platforms might be doing. You know what I'm saying? But this might be coming to GeForce Now, and there's some legitimacy to it.
Yeah, Black Knight. Let's check it out. Normally, I would just say screenshot of a post, whatever, not a big deal. But it lines up with a few things. One, we've heard similar rumblings in other organizations that we've talked to. Most recently, Boosteroid is looking to push something more like this. So it's lining up that NVIDIA doesn't want to get left behind.
Yeah.
Second off, we had to track down exactly who this gentleman was, and he is the developer of this game.
Yes.
So this is coming out of the horse's mouth.
In the original post here, this guy made the game The Engineer, and I'll just read it. Fuzzy Wobbs is the developer name, and he says, I spoke directly with NVIDIA, chasing them for over 8 months now, and they finally got back to me saying The Engineer isn't a priority for them to be added, but they are planning a feature that would allow players to play any of their games sometime this year. So even if it's not fully supported, you should hopefully be able to play it later this year. That's big, man. That's big. It sucks that it hasn't been made available yet, but it's not because of anything on our end.
Right. Well, first off, that means that we were told with GeForce Now in the past that if you opt into GeForce Now, they'll add you.
Right.
It's just part of Steam. When you get in there, you opt in. They take care of it.
Yep.
But clearly this is showing that there's a queue to it, and there must be a process that is delaying them.
Yes. Now a little backstory on the engineer. So this guy's legitimate, and apparently he really did ask NVIDIA. So I don't see him as why he would lie about this, because it's just a random post, and maybe he's looking to get it added to GeForce Now. And guess what? He really is. If you go to SteamDB, you can see he's added it, so it can be opted in. They just haven't. It's not on GeForce Now at the moment. So he's not lying with the fact that they haven't added the game and it's not their top priority yet.
Right.
So you're right, Little Quick. This does mean that just because you opt in doesn't mean the game gets added immediately.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny is that this game was released December of 2023. It's over a year ago.
He's been talking to them for 8 months. That means the queue is long, but it also sounds like it's not a line. It sounds like it's a priority thing,
Probably.
If something like Marvel Rivals hits and everybody's planning to play it,
Yes.
they then work on doing that.
So he's been opted in for 8 months, and it's still not there. So it's definitely a priority thing. I'm sure they have a list of games that are priority for GFN.
Let's pivot to why this is potentially legitimate. We just interviewed Vlad Kosman, and he talked about them adding a feature similar to Boosteroid. And Boosteroid already does things that GeForce Now does not.
Yes.
With their install to play features, getting more games than GeForce Now has. If GeForce Now is going to widen their net to grab whatever in this manner, we have to kind of figure out what that means. Does that mean that GeForce Now is trying not to get behind Boosteroid in this regard? And to what extent are they going to allow us to play games? Are they going to just kind of grab everything like the Engineer? Or are they going to be preventing us from playing games that developers may not want us to play?
Yeah, I think they're always going to have the opt-in. You have to opt it in. But you should be able to play any opted-in game. This game is opted in, but it's not on GeForce Now yet because they have to go through that verification process of it, the game working and everything. I'm guessing this whole hey, you can play any game that's opted in, it's going to change a lot of things. There's probably how many games are opted in? It's just not on the platform yet.
That we don't know. We'd have to get some kind of scraper up for that, and I ain't
Yeah.
programming that. So
I'm sure someone out there can do that for us, right? Or
Yeah,
put us in the right direction, right? So,
yeah.
sure.
Well, Nvidia's never shared anything with us as far as that kind of
they're pretty
info,
tight
so
on that.
they're not going to tell us.
Yes.
Which is why it's kind of cool that they responded to this guy. So whoever's in charge of talking to developers was a little more loose-lipped on this than they were to us as their media guys.
Totally. If this actually is a thing later in the year, in June or July, when Microsoft is rolling out some updates to their cloud platform, if that's if that happens, when they're talking about updates for their games and whatnot, maybe they might be talking about some kind of stuff with NVIDIA and or Boosteroid. Who knows? Maybe they're adding their whole collection of games. Maybe. I mean,
could be. I mean, there's a number of things, but that's all just speculation at that point, though.
Big speculation, but we never saw the 10-year deal coming, so this might be interesting going forward if this ever gets live, because let's say we have GeForce Now Thursdays, right? And we roll out with a number of different updates with games. This would change all of that. My updates would change, so now I would report on what games have opted in.
Right. Definitely would be a different.
Definitely different. So, I mean,
it also would be like a deluge. Like the floodgates would open as soon as this rushed in.
It's true.
And it's no longer the slow trickle that we get week to week.
Yeah, no more slow trickle with games either from Steam, from Epic, or from Microsoft. Well, I guess that'll all depend on Microsoft, and maybe they got something up their sleeve. You never know.
I also would dare say that this also would drop the quality control down to an extent, because they are
absolutely
meticulously checking everything right now, and
especially with the free tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be kind of you get what you get when you use this feature, as opposed to we stand by this quality.
Yeah. So how would this look? Would this be like an install section, or maybe just like hey, this isn't verified by...
if anything, I would say you'd probably still search the game up. It would appear in the list, and there might be like a stamp on it, like a little logo that says this is like an opt-in feature supported game, as opposed to a quality checked game, or the opposite, where everything shows up, but if they did go through the trouble of quality checking it, it gets a quality star.
Yeah.
The old Nintendo seal of approval.
You said the Nintendo seal of approval. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. This could be a game changer for GeForce Now. It doesn't solve the problem for games that people really want. Let's say Rockstar. It's nice to see WB, but they still need to opt in.
I think it's a good step too. I doubt GeForce Now is suddenly taking steps to protect consumers, but if we're seeing some pushback from cloud to allow us to play any game we want, as opposed to letting the developers decide what platforms you can play a game you already bought on, to me that's a win, even if it's a little baby step. I don't think they're going to be pushing hard for that, but it is good for them. I always thought Boosteroid would be leading the charge there with how aggressive their install and play section is, but it'd be nice to see another big player step up and give us something.
Yeah, it's something people have been asking for years. So what do you guys think? Will this happen later this year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you can't wait for this to come to GeForce Now, give us a like. Also, make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and our Discord in the links below. And if you're interested in more cloud chats like this, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.